Hello students, I am teacher Anuja from the Wave Private School. Today we are going to learn on topic air and water. This topic is for grade 10. You will find this topic from Cambridge IGCSE Chemistry course book. Let us start with this topic. Now see students, this topic is all about air and water. We are familiar with air and water. Okay, so before I start with this water treatment objective, let me ask you a few questions. Like, why do people prefer filter water and not tap water for drinking? What is the purpose behind it? And why we buy water from the supermarkets and all, and why just we don't store the water from tap water? Have you ever thought like why people buy water and why they don't just use tap water for drinking and all? So today we are going to see like why we drink filter water, okay, and what is the difference between the filter water and the tap water. Okay, so in that there is water treatment process. So what exactly the impurities are present in water which are harmful for us, and that's why people prefer the bottles in which the water is filtered. So before I start, have a look on this process. These are 4 tankers which helps for the filtration of water. Let us go stepwise. So see, this is the inlet of water. The inlet of water means in this it is not treated, like the impurities and all, like soluble and insoluble, all impurities are mixed. You can call it as like raw water which is in this tank, and it is injected from this, okay, this pipe. You can see the second thing is the screening tells you like what and how many amount of impurities are present, and they also tell us like the impurities which are soluble in water and which are insoluble in water. Okay, so after this there is a pump. Okay, pump means in which there is flow of water, and because of the impurity there is slow process of water which does not helps to go forward. So with the help of the pump there is suction of water which helps the impure or untreated water to move forward and go in this second beaker, where you can see there is coarse filter. So what is the work of this coarse filter? In this, you can see the untreated water is filtered and move forward to sediment tank. Okay, so in this, you can see the insoluble impurities such as like soil or piece of plants or some other organic matters which are present in water is filtered from this tank, and the layer of the water, it comes here, and the insoluble particles, they settle down. You can see this blue. So see, sedimentation tank, you can see these are the impurities which are not soluble in water. Okay, so what is left in the water? The insoluble impurities are removed out. Now this water is still not clean, so in that there are soluble impurities which are still present. So that pass in this third tanker, where you can see there is screening of fine filter. There is fine filter present which helps to remove soluble impurities, which that is like dissolved calcium or some metallic compounds or inorganic pollutants which are like not visible. We see the water is colorless, and some disorganic and inorganic pollutants are also present in it. But because of this small and soluble property, they are not able to come out by the filtration process. So after that, see student, this too is filtration process. Okay, in this it is used to remove large insoluble particles, but in this the fine particles are still present which are soluble in water. We cannot see its difference. So after this go in this beaker where is the chlorination process. Okay, so this process tells us that the bacteria and the other microorganisms which are too small, okay, to be trapped by the filters, okay, they are so small they cannot come out of the filter. In such water where small microorganisms are present, in that they add chlorine, okay, they add chlorine. So this process is called chlorination. Okay, this involves the careful addition of chlorine to water supply, which kills bacteria and other unwanted microorganisms. Got it? Then after this, it is passed through the pipe where it goes to the last process. There is the store tank. Got it, student? How water is filtered? First it is filtered, and then insoluble impurities are removed out. After that it goes in this beaker where fine particles are filtered, but due to the presence of the soluble particles in water, they pass through this beaker in which there is addition of chlorine to kill the bacteria. And then after that you can see there is again the sign of the pump where it helps to move forward and get stored in this tank, and from this tank there is the supply of water to home and factories. Got the point? The filtration and the water treatment. Now see, if we have like untreated water, then chloria and typhoid, these are some bacterial disease which one can suffer because of untreated water. Okay, now let's see some uses of water. Now see, water in industry and water in homes. You can see in industry they are used as coolant to reduce the temperature of some industrial process. Like in big factories there are big temperature coolants. Okay, so to reduce its temperature, to reduce the heat, the water is used as a coolant. Okay, the second use of industry is watering crops, that is called as irrigation. Now see student, when you pass by road you can see there is a lawn of grass. There you can see there is a supply of water which is continuously moving round and round, so that process is called irrigation. Okay. Third one is as a solvent in many chemical production process. In many chemical production as a solvent. Now you know to make solution you first need solvent and then solute, and then it gives you solution. So in lot of chemical production process they use water as its solvent. And the fourth one is hydroelectric power station to generate electricity. See, this is very important student. Water is used to generate electricity. We all have studied in our lower grades how water is used to generate electricity. Okay, now let's see water in homes. It is used in drinking, cooking and washing, and in general sanitation, and in car radiators for gardens and plants. Now we saw the treatment of water and uses of water. Let us see chemical test for water. What are its chemical tests? Now let's see chemical test for water. Now see student, you can see this first image and this is second image. Okay. Now see in this first image, the down you can see this powder. So this is anhydrous copper sulfate powder. What is anhydrous? Anhydrous means that solution does not contain water. Okay, so see, just focus on this white powder. So what is happening from this test tube? They are putting water. Okay, so when they put water from this test tube, you can see the white powder that is turning blue on the addition of water. Okay, now see the down powder, it does not contain water. It is anhydrous copper sulfate powder. So after addition of water, you can see the change. The powder is changing from white to blue. So this is the presence of copper sulfate. Okay, so the copper sulfate turns white to blue on addition of water. Let's turn to our second image. Here you can see there is blue cobalt paper. Okay, so this blue cobalt paper, when we put drop of water, this blue paper turns into pink. You can see this here. There is pink. So what happened on addition of water? The test is usually done using cobalt chloride paper. So when we put water, you can see it turns into pink. Got it? The two taste for water. Let us proceed next. We learn about water. Let's see about air. So student, before I start, let me ask you. Now see, near our surrounding, we know like there is air present. But do you know like what is the composition of the air? Like how much percentage is oxygen there, or what are the other gases present? No, because we don't know all these things, because these gases are not seen. We cannot see gases from our eyes, but the composition of air is like see, 78% is nitrogen. See, isn't it surprising? Because usually we think like everywhere oxygen is present and there are no any other gases and like this and like that. But the reality is the composition of air is 78% is nitrogen gas and only 20.9, you can call it as like 21%, around 21% is oxygen. See, among 100% only 21% is oxygen, 78% is nitrogen, and the rest others are other gases like argon, then carbon dioxide. Okay, so these other gases are, they are 10%. Got it? See, now let's see what are the uses of air. The gases available in the air have many important applications. Now let's see what is the use of oxygen. Oxygen is used in steel making, welding. Now see, for welding and all we use steel. So by what it is welded? By the use of oxygen. Second, nitrogen. It is used in food packaging. Now you know like the packets which we get in supermarkets. So they are like, they are stuck from upside. From the upside you can see it is sealed. So we use nitrogen gas there. Okay. Then nitrogen also used in production of ammonia and in the production of silicon chips. In mobile and laptops, you know, there are small chips. So for that, for their production, nitrogen gas is used. Last one, both of these gases are separated from air by fractional distillation. Now see student, these are gases at the end, oxygen and nitrogen. And see, of course, gases are like not seen and gases are at the end gases. You cannot distinct it, because to distinct any object, they should have some color or some shape. But gases doesn't have, but they can be separated by air, by fractional distillation. So we are going to see that part in our next video. The objectives which we learn in this video are water treatment, uses of water, chemical test for water, and composition of air. So we will continue in next video. Thank you. That is part 2 of air and water.